Welcome to the A Star Ship. My name is Kale, and we're hacking on some low level C Unicode API code with Microsoft Visual Studio Copilot debugger mode, which is pretty good. And let's see. So I'm a software computer engineer, been grinding out this low level code for a very long time. I'm very thankful to have the assistance, even though it's micro crap. Um, it's catching a lot of bugs. So I just spent a couple hours on live stream, and then I had to delete the video because something that wasn't supposed to be on screen ended up on screen. So we're gonna do a redo. Unfortunately, you don't get to see me write the algorithms. Where can you find this? You can find this at github.com/a*starship/crabs. I am going to be checking in issue 340, or sorry, mission 343. So let's look at the code. So this is the Stringf library. So if it's a string function, it starts with an S. If the function is a template function, it starts with a T. That really actually helps things a lot more than you would understand. So we're just trying to check to see if the string starts with or ends with a string. And then we need to strip the white space from the beginning and the end. And then from the beginning and the end, which was pretty easy function to write. Note, I am not checking for null pointers every function I go into. It's your own responsibility. Um, so let's look at the code. What did it produce? It's down here. Here's the test function. All right, cool. Cool. And so what is the only spaces one? Where does it use this? Strip. No. So that's the behavior I'm expecting? Cursor equals no. Okay. Sure. All right. Yeah, because it's supposed to return here right here. All right. Sure. I mean, yeah, I'm very thankful to have this. Nobody else is contributing, so it's certainly not going to be upset that the AI replaced these workers that never showed up to actually help out, and they all just demand things be given to them, and nobody wants to contribute at all, and then they want all the good jobs, but they just don't want to pay full price, so they want to buy stuff from sweatshops, and then they complain about feminism. They're like, "You're not treating women equally," they say on their Chinese smartphone made by somebody making slave wages. Like, get out of here. So, by "you're not treating women equally," you mean the slave that made your iPhone? That you're complaining about me not treating the white women better? Excuse me. The emperor wears no clothes on that one, bro. All right, so what is the unit test in? That's not a unit test. That's not it. Right. No, that's not it. I'm sorry. I'm having troubles here. Having trouble. All right, so what happened in the test? That was like the old test. Looks legit to me. I mean, those functions aren't really hard to test. So, uh-oh. Chat's not working. Yeah, I can't see your chats. Here, I'm gonna try to exit OBS and then come back in because the thing's glitched. All right, all right. Does that work? Yeah, now it's working. Cool. See if we get any viewers. It's rough to get viewers as a live coder. I don't think there's anything I'm doing, because like I removed myself from the thumbnail because like my previous thought was that I'm an old white dude, and so people aren't identifying with me, because maybe the crowd is more diverse or whatever. I don't like that word. You mean more non-white, non-Christian? I mean, what's going on? Um, so it seems like it's even worse without me in the thumbnail. So I'll probably put myself in the thumbnail again. But I do like the 8-bit magical crabs and the sorcerer thumbnails. Those are pretty good. If you ask me, I think it looked legit. I'm just gonna check it in. So what do I got to do? Okay. So we're scholarship. Yes. Okay. What is it? Or no, it's up here. All right. And then I have to get rid of that. So we just need to do a git branch, move issue 341 to issue 343, git add dash dash all because there's a whole bunch. I don't know if there's anything new. It's not that much data. So the difference between a git add dot and a git add dot dash dash is the git add dash dash all will do it'll like add every file that's in there in the folder into the commit to push out to GitHub. And sometimes you need to do this if you deleted files. If you deleted files, I mean, you got to manually add them, but you could just git add dash dash all, and then it'll do that. But it still won't change the casing of the readme.md file, which is kind of annoying. GitHub really is a bugaboo about that readme.md being in all caps in the root. I think it's stupid. All right, so git and dash dash all, git commit. Maybe I should look to see whether or not I accidentally downloaded any files. Never good to do that. I'm gonna mark this one closed up over here in GitHub. Go over here and do a PR, a pull request. Okay. Okay, I guess we won't do a pull request. Excuse me. The hell happened? Nothing to compare, huh? I didn't commit. I didn't put in the oh, I misspelled commit. All right. All right. So I misspelled commit. I was wondering what happened with that. Let's look through. Did I accidentally download any porn into the open source repository? I'm joking. I'm joking. Kind of. You never know when that picture of your homegirl holding her tits, the the dude doing lines of blow in the background, accidentally makes it into the open source repository. I don't think GitHub will like that one, huh? Joking. I'm joking. Kind of. Nobody to review it, so just me. I reviewed it. Looked legit to me. Throw it over the fence. Ship it to prod. Your job. Your problem now, bud. All right. So what's the next? Oh yeah, the Monoid AI. So I need to update the video description. Go over here to this one. 345. Bad scans with the bad byte streams. Uh, all right. That's updated now. So now we're going to go into looking at the Monoid AI. Maybe there's something that I could do with the Uh, open code? I can't really think of anything though. Got to do thing when I'm doing stuff with the local LLM vibe coding thing while I'm doing everything else with like Studio. You got to like buffer off which ones, what module, which agent is working on because you don't want them editing the same files at the same time. It's like they just need to like do research or something. And I'm using Qwen 3 Coder next, which isn't really like it's not exactly what I should be using. Plus there's newer ones. Uh so I guess we'll just look at the research. Okay. So first in or last in, first out. Uh so closure. What does this mean? Okay. So the closure is it closure means it's going to end up in a valid state basically. it's, it's going to end up in one of the members in the first group. So you can add things that are not. I'm not sure why it doesn't have to be in B. I'd have to pull up my math book and look. Yeah. So what is this? The associativity means for in the context of the Chinese room abstract stack machine means that I can process these byte streams in their own context to where each expression that I scan is going to be like a complete thing. It's not going to be like partially dependent on another thing. So then when I do the associativity, it's like events can happen in different orders. It's a fancy way of saying this is a stack machine with contiguous memory, and I can execute things in different orders because they have their own memory space. And then the identity element is it's pretty simple conceptually. It's like I have a stack machine. I can process these expressions. Like I can scan the expressions for correctness asynchronously. They can happen concurrently. Okay? It's like their operation are not dependent on one thing happening and then another thing happening and then another thing happening. So that one's a little bit more difficult though when in terms of like the state modification. But I don't know. I'm making all this shit up, dude. If you're looking for somebody who's got all the answers and shit, ain't gonna be finding that around here, bro. Where my mouse is jumping all over the place over here. Wait. Sorry. And close this pull request down. No, it's just glitching. What's super linear compression? Let's look this up. That's kind of interesting. Can I use super linear time series forecasting to do anything? Huh. Now I wonder if OBS is or YouTube's complaining that my audio's dropped out because I have a filter, a noise filter. Maybe I'll take off the noise suppression. No, that wouldn't help. I think it's a false alarm. Okay. So my head kind of hurts just thinking about that. Like, so what is it? Super linear compression? Like You're compressing my head until it explodes. Oh shit, son. Let me guess. Next thing you know, back in cryptography. Shit. I thought I moved on past that. What is the free abelian monoid? So what is this, like a subset of monoids? I'm sorry, I'm totally researching. Why don't I just read the research article here? It makes more sense to just read the research article because I'm reading AI like trying to convert my C++ API into this thing based upon some like uh half-baked shit that I put in my specification. All right, well, what do I need? I need the resources. AI version is all you need, baby. All right, going into AI research mode. Wait, what is the free abelian monoid? Free abelian monoid. This is dense, dude. So what the hell does this even mean? All right. Do this. All right. So logarithmically sparse macro set achieves exponential expansion of expressivity. What the hell does that even goddamn mean? That's a whole bunch of blah 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 hibbity hoop blah hand waving shit. Like an idiot reading this. I'm like all. I mean, I understand the words that it's saying, but I just know enough about it to understand that this is a rather complicated subject. So it's like, okay, might not want to read that one on live stream. I'm okay with looking like a live stream. Done it many a times. That's why I look so smart on live stream. So I've looked dumb so many times. So what it means by exponential expansion of expressivity, what that means is that I have an expression. I might have a recursive expression that defines itself recursively here. And so this exponential expansion of expressivity means that the different number of combinations that I can do with this particular uh these groups of no, groups not the right word, but these sets of things exponentially explodes. And then the problem here is that when we're using an AI, we need to find the correct path. And when there's exponentially exploding paths, it makes it very difficult to do this sort of research. This is talking about the closure property right here. If you read that one closely, it doesn't say it's talking about closure, but that's what that means. It's saying it's got the characteristics of A sub n, not F sub n, right here. So S sub n is the closure property is like that it um so like you can I don't even know how to describe that. That's a complex subject. So HM and then FM. What were those again? Human math and then what is FM, formal math? Formal mathematics. What's the difference between formal mathematics and human mathematics? So formal math is like, oh, what are all those weird rules that you need to prove every last little thing in math, but they proved that you couldn't even prove all the rules? I can't really remember what. Oh, the Principia Mathematica, I think is what it's called. Yeah, I think it's the Principia Mathematica. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this one's bonkers, dude. I have no ambition to go that hard with math, dude. That's a little bit kind of bonkers. This is bonkers. This is just insanity. This is not human. This is like a code for people who don't even have computers. It doesn't make it's like nonsensical. So human mathematics is like how humans like do math. Okay. Honestly, I feel like my eyes is glazing over reading this shit, or I'm like, this is a little bit like watching paint dry. I think I already saw that. Huh? Was that the second time that graph came? No, sorry, lost my place. This must be it. Okay, so like maybe this kind of clues you into exactly so like the way we do things is with monoids. We do things in like little steps that we could like change the orders around. You know, we could do whatever we can when we can concurrently, and then so human math doesn't grow as exponentially as uh what was it? Formal math, right? So formal math is like crazy. What is parsimony? willing to spend money unnecessarily. Kind of describes me. Damn it. What's that? Pisses me off. Oh, what's a sup being? Did they say anything about the sup up here? Ooh, it's a little bit dense. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through all this right now. So what did I just read? So when you compare the pure math to the human math, the human math doesn't grow as exponentially because we're humans, we make errors, we do shortcuts. So we do like simplistic ways of doing things. And so a monoid pattern is going to have exponentially less different combinations because of the restriction in the group dynamic or the group membership criteria, meaning the criteria required to be a member of the group. All right, so is there a conclusion? Right, so we're this is a P versus NP problem. So one's polynomial in the P category, one's in the NP category. Right. Okay. You know, they really should have. This should totally have been at the beginning. I honestly, like, I blanked out, but like, I understand, like, where they're getting at. There's all this formal stuff that would like take me forever to understand, but I think I get it. There's the P versus NP problem, and so the monoid structure is going to grow in polynomial time, and as opposed to the NP hard problems, right? Okay, so I'm going to call that a success. So now let's look at the what the hell did the AI say now? Some relations. Yes, there's some shit missing. How do I make it? How do I make it that way though, dude? It's that ransom. Dude, if I ever pull this off, I'm the man, dude. I don't know if I'm ever gonna be able to pull this off, dude. I feel like a fucking idiot right now, dude. Oh my god, like a monoid AI. Can I even pull this off, dude? I mean, I understand a lot of this stuff, but I mean, you're coming at me with like some graduate level math, and like, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Maybe I should need to have the AI like insult every stupid thing that I've done in this, right? Maybe it could just be like raw, just coming at me like some angry, deranged quantum physicist that hasn't had sex in 20 years and is really pissed off that you wasted their time. Does this say this in the research paper? Okay. What is an expansion thing? Okay. So like e to the power of a matrix is an expansion theorem? Laplace expansion? I remember this. I don't remember exactly what it was. Oh, gotcha for the determinant. Right. Gotcha. That's the expansion thing. Okay. So, what is an example of an expansion in artificial intelligence? A neural network's an example of an expansion. What does a sparse macro mean? Well, what is sparse macro? All right, I'm getting up close to an hour. Didn't get any viewers. It kind of sucks. Um, what does that mean? Okay, so sparse macro. All right, well, I'm gonna get off of here because I'm gonna count this as some good research. I wanted to get more research done. I was on here for 2 hours earlier, and then something stupid popped up on my screen that wasn't supposed to pop up, and I had to dump the live stream. But yeah, I think I got a good amount of live coding done today. Hey, thanks for tuning in.